On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. Now she clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in, by now you might have died." She stroked his pretty skin, and then she kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. "I saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bit me. Heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die." "Oh, shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in."
What if the two-party system was actually a mechanism used to limit so-called public opinion? What if there were more than two sides to every issue, but the two parties wanted to box you into a corner, one of their corners? What if there's no such thing as public opinion, because every thinking person has opinions that are uniquely his own? What if what we call public opinion was just a manufactured narrative that makes it easier to convince people that if their views are different, then there's something wrong with that, or there's something wrong with them? What if the whole purpose of the Democratic and Republican parties was not to expand voters' choices, but to limit them? What if the widely perceived differences between the two parties was just an illusion? What if the heart of the government policy remains the same no matter who's in the White House? What if the heart of government policy remains the same no matter what the people want? What if those vaunted differences between Democrat and Republican were actually just minor disagreements? What if both parties just want power and are willing to have young people fight meaningless wars in order to enhance that power? What if both parties continue to fight the war on drugs just to give bureaucrats and cops bigger budgets and more jobs? What if government policies didn't change when government leaders did? What if no matter who won an election, government stayed the same? What if government was really a revolving door for political hacks bent on exploiting the people once they're in charge? Parties supported welfare, war, debt, bailouts, and big government. What if the rhetoric that candidates displayed on the campaign trail was dumped after electoral victory? What if Barack Obama campaigned as an anti-war, pro-civil liberties candidate and then waged senseless wars while assaulting your rights that the Constitution is supposed to protect? What if George W. Bush campaigned on a platform of non-intervention and small government, and then waged a foreign policy of muscular military intervention and a domestic policy of vast government borrowing and growth? What if Bill Clinton declared that the era of big government was over, but actually just convinced Republicans like Newt Gingrich that they can get what they want out of big government too? What if the Republicans went along with it? What if Ronald Reagan spent 6 years running for president, promising to shrink the government, but then the government grew while he was in the White House? What if the biggest difference between most candidates was not substance, but style? What if those stylistic differences were packaged as substantive ones to reinforce the illusion of a difference between Democrats and Republicans? What if a government that manipulated us could be fired? What if a government that lacked the true and knowing consent of the governed could be dismissed? What if it were possible to have a real game changer? What if we could make elections matter again? What if we could do something about this? From New York, defending freedom every night of the week.
Republican nominee Donald Trump was scheduled to speak in the city within 90 minutes. By the way, Hillary Clinton will be speaking on Friday in Port St. Lucie and Fort Pierce. Those are neighboring cities south of Vero. Perhaps Omar Mateen's father will attend Hillary's rally in Fort Pierce like he did months ago in Orlando. As we approached the Melbourne airport, the first thing we saw was the long line of people waiting to get inside the hangar. The line stretched through the parking lot and out along the road. There were thousands of people, literally thousands of citizens, eagerly hoping to get inside the hangar to see and hear Donald Trump. We continue to request press credentials from the Clinton campaign, but they don't respond. Apparently, the only reporters allowed to attend a Clinton rally are those who adore Hillary and will never write about the tiny number of people who attended the rally. I've been to a lot of political rallies, and I've heard more speeches than I care to remember. I don't recall ever seeing so many rallies with 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people in attendance, and thousands turned away because there was simply no room left in the building. The Trump rally attendees have hope in their eyes. They have latched on to an unlikely hero, a wealthy New York businessman. Donald Trump has become the blue-collar billionaire. He has restored hope in the hearts of everyday men and women who go to work and make this country function. You can see it in their eyes. The reflection in their eyes says, perhaps the country isn't finished yet. Perhaps we can save something for our children and grandchildren. The other thing you see at these rallies is enthusiasm. The Trump folks are radically enthusiastic for their man. I don't see that kind of enthusiasm for Hillary Clinton. The Trump people will vote on November 8th, even if they have to crawl on their hands and knees to get to the polls. But what about the Clinton supporters? How many of them will actually bother to vote? The third thing you'll see at a Trump rally is old-fashioned patriotism. These people love America. They love our veterans. They salute the flag. They represent the best of the old America. Donald Trump ends his speeches these days with a pledge to be the president of one nation, under one God, saluting one flag. And that line drives the lefties crazy. After I helped Susan get into the hangar, I left quickly to go back to my vehicle. As I was standing outside the hangar on the tarmac, I heard a loud roar above my head. I looked up. Donald J. Trump's personal jetliner, emblazoned with Trump on the fuselage, came soaring in to land on the runway. For a brief moment, I was frozen. I wanted to video the scene, but I didn't do it. Instead of being a news journalist, I was an American citizen. I hadn't felt a rush of patriotic national pride in my veins since the days of Ronald Reagan. I watched the Trump jet touch down on the runway and taxi up to the hangar. I said aloud, "Welcome to Melbourne, Mr. President." For a few seconds, I had hope. I had hope that my country will not be destroyed. I had hope that we won't go to World War III with the Russians. I had hope that the God-hating atheists will be pushed back. I had hope that there would be a revival of righteousness in the land. Fortunately, the True News team of Fior Hernandez and Edward Zoll were already inside the hangar to witness the extraordinary Trump rally a day after the first presidential debate. Our very own Fior Hernandez spoke to some Trump supporters last night.
Undeniably a presidential welcome for Republican nominee Donald Trump as his Boeing 757 flew above the long lines of supporters still waiting to get in to hear him speak at the Orlando Melbourne International Airport last night.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
The capacity of occupancy at the hangar where event was held is 10,000. Fire Department Chief Chuck Pagola confirmed that one count was at 9,500 people inside. The crowd literally wrapped around the location. Some had been waiting since 8 a.m., and the event didn't officially start till 7 in the evening. With long lines still outside, Secret Service made the call to cut off entrance.
This is a movement like they have never seen before. Never.
Something likely never seen before either are online polls conducted by major news organizations, one after the other declaring Trump as the winner of Monday night's presidential debate, despite a general consensus among political analysts or pundits that the debate perhaps wasn't the best performance for the aspiring commander-in-chief.
Corrupt corporate media, right back there, they are corrupt as you can get.
In fact, some of these very same news outlets appear to be ignoring or denying the results of their very own polls.
The arrogance of Washington, D.C. will soon come face to face with the righteous verdict of the American voter. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We will build the wall 100%. We need the wall. 100%. Are you ready? Are you ready? And who is going to pay for the wall? They may not know it yet, but the answer is Mexico.
Ruby Romeo, a Cuban-American immigrant, was very vocal about not taking offense to the building of a wall along the southern border, pointing to strict immigration laws in Mexico.
To see that no ad was developed with the Pinocchio nose for Hillary, since she has lied so many times regarding the emails, regarding her cell phones, regarding so many things. Benghazi, she has gotten away with more lies than anyone I have ever seen. And that is a disaster. He is not an insider, and he has practical plans that will help our country. All of it. And the whole bit.
The press has taken almost everything Trump has said and taken it out of context. He did not make a comment about a Mexican lawyer. It was the lawsuit he was talking about, where the lawyer was a member of La Raza, and it had to do with the wall. It did not have to do with him slandering anybody.
The large crowd that showed up in Melbourne in just 24 hours after the first presidential debate could be indicative of the overall sentiment among those that participated in the online polls Monday night. Many have just simply made their decision and have a strong message for the Democratic candidate.
She can lie to us, but she can't lie to God.
We were fortunate that the very first Trump rally after the first presidential debate was held in our backyard. And the fact that we could, as a True News team, drive into Melbourne and personally witness the event, I think the news media, from what I could tell, I'm talking about the old media, the old dying media. You know who we're talking about? The old dying news media organization that the people don't pay attention to anymore. I think they're confused. They're shocked. They don't know what to do. They're convinced that Hillary won the debate, and yet thousands of people showed up last night to cheer Trump, and thousands were turned away, and the people don't care about the debate.
You know, we were looking into the eyes of a lot of these journalists and media outlets last night. Again, 250 of them showed up. That's how many media personnel were on site at that rally last night.
250?
250.
Oh, they got their earful of booing, didn't he?
Well, it seems like the reality is dawning on them. I mean, I was looking at their faces. They're glum, they're sad, they do not look happy. And as you already mentioned, they look bewildered. They saw, and they predicted, and they've said, they're saying Trump is losing, Trump is a racist, these other things. The public is not listening.
Not only is the public not listening, the public is turning on them. For the first time, the general public is turning on the news media.
And
they now hate them.
Yes, and many of the Trump supporters, when they attend the rallies, Pastor, are literally turning on them, moving like this with your phones. Excuse me, like they were taking a selfie, but to show the media, turning to the media to say, "Here we are. Do not ignore our presence." And it happened last night, as you said.
That's right. The people are confronting the media at the press box, pointing their finger at them, telling them, we don't believe you anymore. Report the truth. Show the American people how many of us are here. And it's really an amazing thing to behold. This is a movement. It's beyond Trump. It is now a movement. This is something that is phenomenal. It's something that doesn't take place every 4 years. This is changing the country.
And Mr. Trump alluded to that last night in his speech. He made a note that this movement that's been created out of the discord and the unpleasantry of not just the media, but the government, it's not going away. The media, the movement, rather, that has formed behind Mr. Trump will carry on long after this election.
You better believe it. And I just want to say this to all the lefties that listen to True News, to monitor us. I got something for you. After November 8th, there's going to be pushback and payback. Baby, it's coming.
Yep.
It's coming, baby. All you lefties, pushback and payback. You're going to get pushed back, and we're going to pay you back for what you did.